girls, and welcome to this video about decorating your Zoom. No, not decorating your room, decorating your Zoom. Because when we're on Zoom, we can only see this bit of us, can't we? Generally. And so, when I am on my Zoom, I'm standing here. I stand. Some of you might sit. And my computer is here. And so what people see is this. They see this. Now, especially for Holiday Bible Club, I'm going to decorate what's in the background on my Zoom calls. And if you want to do this, this is some ideas, but you can decorate it however you want. First of all, if you've got a cat or a dog, you need to make sure you de-hair yourself, because that hair gets everywhere. Second, I've got a really big blue sheet. Now, your sheet can be any colour blue. I've gone for a dark blue because that's what was available. So you've just got to work with what you've got and ask your mum or your dad and use this. Now, to put it up, I've got some special little clips here. They're kind of clamp clips. Okay, so I'm going to use some of these to keep it up. So I've got two of them, and I've got two other weird clips that if you do that, those bits kind of clamp together. So I'm going to do that now. Next, you'll need some paper and a pencil. I've got different colours of paper here, and maybe even a blue one. We'll put the blue one aside for now and just work with these. What I'll do with this one, I'm going to draw a fish. I'm going to work on it this way so I can get more than one fish on it. So this is how I draw. Like a big body like that, and then a tail. Don't go too close here, otherwise it might fall off. So that's what you can draw, and you can draw different size fish. So I can make this a slightly smaller one. Oh, that tail is a bit strange. And you can make them different colours. Maybe this fish is going to be a bit more streamlined. So I'm going to do a fish like that. Like that. We can decorate them later. But for now, if you're allowed to use scissors, use it very, very carefully. And then I'm going to cut around the scissors, the shape that we just made. So there we have. We've got two fish at the moment. You can make as many fish as you like. And I'm going to decorate them now. So for this one, these kind of fish, sometimes they have like a funny old mouth, don't they? So I'm going to draw a mouth like that. And then I'm going to draw an eye. About there. And then I'll give it some scales, I think. Now I think scales go this way. Like that, and then you build them up. Before I go any further, I'm just going to draw a little fin. You can draw a triangle, just like that, if you make it hard. And then you can draw just some lines in it, just to make it look a bit more like a fin, and then I can keep going with my scales. And this will only be in the background, so you don't need to worry too much about what it looks like. And you can do this in different colour pen. You can do this. You could stick things on if you wanted to stick things on. My scales are kind of petering out as you get round the back, but that's fine. And then you can just draw some lines on the tail, and there you have one of your fish. So we've got our sheet up, and we've done some little fish to put on. Now, what I've noticed is that the detail on the fish doesn't really matter. It's mainly the shape that you're going to see through the camera. So, although I have done details on my little fish, then that doesn't really matter. You can do them on white paper and colour them in. You'll see differences in colour, but maybe not kind of like texture and stuff like that. On the back, I've decided to use double-sided sticky tape, which you can get from the internet. It's really quite good, and because the paper is so light, it doesn't have to be very strong. So what I've done here is done a little school of fish. So I've done 6 of them there, and I've just dotted them around. Odd numbers work best. I know there's 6 of them here, but odd numbers work best, so I've got odd ones for the yellow ones. Before I started putting any of them on, what I did was set the camera up, and then I marked out the corners. So I looked at the camera and I was like, oh, where's the corner? So I've got a corner here. So this is what the camera can see. Not your camera, my Zoom camera, my computer camera. So these are the 2 corners here. And these are the 2 corners here. And so, and the other thing I did, I stood in the middle and I marked out where I would be. Because you've got to remember, you can't see everything on here when you're standing in front of it. So if there's one of you, remember that it's in the middle. People won't be able to see what's behind it. If there's 2 of you, remember to put it very high so that people can see your decoration over your head. So this is me. So I'm in these bits. That's my outer arms. And then my shadow goes like this. And that's the top of my head. So that's why I haven't got anything in there. These bits here are seaweed. So what I've done, I've done some blue ones in the background. And then what I've done, I'm going to put some more sticky tape on this. And now when it comes to these big long bits, you don't have to use sticky tape all the way down. So take a tiny bit and stick it on the end, and take a tiny bit more and stick it on the other end. So it's like that. So you're not using a great deal. So stick it down firmly, and that will actually help you to get the other bit off. It's weird, isn't it? So you stick it down firmly, then using one of your nails, you take the white bit off, leaving the clear bit on. So what I've got is this green bit. I'm going to put it over some of this blue bit. So just note where the sticky bits are, and I'll put it like that, and it'll look a lot more 3D. So the top one's actually stuck down there, and the bottom one is stuck there. Don't worry if it comes out of the paper. That just gives it an extra 3D effect. You see this? The sheet is a little bit, goes down a little bit here. Doesn't matter again. It shows up fine on the computer screen. So I'm going to do a few more of this. Put my school of fish on, and I'll be back and show you the bubbles. So I've only got a few things left. Bubbles are everywhere in the ocean, so you can just put just bits of paper. If they're blue, they kind of look as if they're kind of more blending into the ocean, which is what bubbles do, because bubbles are like see-through, aren't they? So blue is one of the best colours, but you could do it multicoloured, and that's fine too. So these are my fish kind of breathing. Over here I've just done the bubbles from the ground. Both work. And if you start with the big ones on the bottom, and they go smaller, smaller, smaller as you go up. Okay, so these are fairly big ones, so I'm going to start doing smaller ones. I've got another kind of small to medium size one here. Do it further down here. And then I've got a few really teeny tiny ones. Of course, I've done just fish, just 2 different shapes of fish, 2 different colours. You could do all kinds of things. You could do plaice, which are big flat fish. You could do, well, actually, remember the plaice? They start off like a normal fish with one eye either side of their head, and then they get flat, and that one eye moves and it goes whoop. So they've got two eyes on the same side of their head as they grow up. So these are really small bubbles. They're going to go at the top. You could do plaice. You could do things like sharks, like a hammerhead shark. That'd be cool. You could do, what else could you do in the ocean? You could do really colourful tropical fish and make them like really multicoloured. You could do corals. So instead of seaweed, you could do corals. So you just make them like, not just like wiggly lines like that, but you could make them kind of like, oh, like branches of a tree, like coral. In fun colours. Here's my final one. Anything really. You could do a whale. You could do a shipwreck. Anything really that you'd find in the sea. So here we go. Last one. There we go. So I've decorated my Zoom, and yours doesn't have to look like mine. In fact, make it your own. Doesn't have to be this black colour. Just do something that makes it look a bit like under the sea. I hope this has been helpful. Looking forward to seeing your Zooms. Bye for now.